Hey everyone, Journeyman here, and welcome back to Weston Super Mare. In today's episode, we take on Cheltenham Town, possibly our toughest test of the season thus far. Hey everyone, once again, welcome back to Weston Super Mare. So we've had about 3 or 4 fixtures and a couple of sign-ins since the last time you joined us. Take a look at the fixtures first and foremost. After the 5-1 destruction of Tranmere, we lost 2-1 disappointingly against Southport. We actually played pretty well in this game. We didn't deserve to lose, but there you have it. Unfortunately, we just couldn't defend well enough at the end, and Isaac Lane popped up with a winner for Southport in the 74th minute. Del Southport did keep his good goal scoring run going, however, with a goal in the 62nd. Then we follow with a 2-2 draw against Gateshead, and obviously a team that we could say we're rivals against now. Elliot Richards signed for them from us over in the summer. He's notched up 4 goals but couldn't score in this game as we lost a 2-0 lead after Roe Turner and Dave Southall getting the goals, put us 2-0 ahead. And new signing Paul Bignut getting sent off in the 68th minute. Gateshead scoring one from the penalty spot from that resulting second yellow card, and Danny Johnson getting the equaliser in the 88th minute. Again, a game we didn't deserve to lose, but we shouldn't be throwing 2-0 leads away like that. So nevertheless, disappointing to draw, but there you have it. Then most recently, we just lost 3-1 in the FA Cup first round against Plymouth. This is a game we didn't really expect to win. However, we actually made the game pretty tight. As you can see, 52% possession, decent amount of chances, none of them really clear cuts, and it was a good finish from Reece Wedderburn that made the result a little bit more respectable when it really could have been 4-1. If you look, they actually missed a penalty in the 14th minute as well. So that brings us all the way up to today's game up against Cheltenham. Now, as I mentioned, we actually signed a couple of players. I had Ugo Adoji on trial for us in the last episode, and he actually earned a spot in the team. He's on a non-contract deal, so it's a little bit of a kind of a no-lose situation for us. He'll provide support at right back and centre half. Then we also signed Paul Bignut, who is now our starting right back for the team. He actually was in the Jamaican national team. He didn't make a cap for them. As you can see, he's still listed as English, but it wouldn't surprise me if he breaks into the squad in the near future. He is 31 years old, so he's not really getting much better than he is today, but he will help us toward finish off the season before we maybe sign a better, more full-time replacement. So anyway, going into today's game, we're up against, as I mentioned, Cheltenham, who are currently 6th in the table. Let me see, Jack Sowerby is a top goal scorer with 7 goals so far in 12 starts. And then Jack Moons is a player we have to be very wary of as well. Very talented attacking midfielder, and it looks like they can line up in a very kind of a strange formation for Football Manager 2017, a 5-2-1-2 formation. So that'd be something different we haven't gone up against yet, especially with this 4-3-1-2 formation. Anyway, this is the lineup for today's game. Purnell in goal, Bignut at right back, Steele Devine at the middle of the fence with Roe Turner at left back, Sakuna, Dan Sweeney, and Perry Ryan gets a start today because of injuries to Scott Davis and suspension of Theo Briley. And up top, we got James Jenkins behind the 2 strikers, with, of course, Southwell and Williams leading the line. So on the bench, you can see Brian, Lane, Fitzgerald, Wedderburn, and Watkins makes a return to the bench in case we need to bring any players on. Alright, so here we go up against Cheltenham today. As I mentioned, this is going to be a very tough fixture for us today. It's probably the toughest test of the season. Cheltenham are a very, very talented team, top to bottom, and I'm hoping we can, hoping our home form will guide us through today, and maybe we'll be able to snatch a victory. But anyway, as we kick off today's game, let's see if we can get a positive result. Okie dokie. So about 10 minutes in, things are going pretty okay so far. Decent amount of possession. Good start. Good solid start. Obviously, our defence has improved. Over recent weeks, we've actually conceded too many goals, and that's another penalty. That seems to be an issue of our squad. We keep conceding penalties, but lucky enough, Luke Benahal's bailed us out on multiple occasions. Here is maybe a chance. Holman steps up, and he puts it home past Purnell. Purnell, no chance. Good penalty for Dan Holman. That's his 9th goal of the season. Purnell really didn't have a chance there at all. So Not disappointed in him, but obviously disappointed to concede yet another penalty. Alright, we'll skip that replay and let's get going. Maybe we can bounce back quickly. We have enough strike force power to get back in this game. Hopefully things will click before the end of the first half. Here's maybe a chance now. Turner plays with a Southwell, gives the ball away cheaply. Good tackle from Turner though. Plays with Jenkins, is through on goal. Jenkins shoots and puts it into the side netting. Good chance there for James Jenkins. He's not really a natural goal scorer and kind of showed on that attempt. Sweeney makes a clearance back only as far as O'Shaughnessy, I think he's pronounced his name. Moons to Holman to Ellisy. Good save there from Luke Purnell in goal there. He's had a really good solid season so far, Luke Purnell. Oh, that's a cheap giveaway there. Holman crosses the slower beat, and that's another penalty. You've got to be freaking kidding me. How many penalties are we going to concede this season? This is absolutely abysmal. I'm honestly starting to think the referees have something against us, because that's got to be double figures now this season. But it's probably going to be Holman again. He steps up and he powers it past Purnell the same direction, and he makes it 2-0 to Cheltenham. Now we have an uphill battle, and obviously that's going to be very tough for us to get back into things in the second half. But again, 2 penalties against us. It's becoming a regular thing. I'm not sure if there's anything I'm doing here, if I'm not doing regarding tactics and instructions and things like that, but honestly, we concede as many penalties as we've done. I feel like it's a bug. Here's maybe a chance though, make it 2-1, and there it is. Aaron Williams seized on an error there, defensive error, and that scores his 6th goal of the season for Aaron Williams. So we're back in the game here just before halftime. That's a really good goal to get. Alright, so 2-1. As you can see. Alright, so let's do the team talk real quick. Obviously, I'm disappointed to concede those 2 penalties. I'm going to go ahead and tell the boys I have faith in their ability. Obviously, we haven't won in the last 3 games, so morale has took a little bit of a dip, but nevertheless, it's something we can't overcome. Alright, Roe Turner, Williams, and Holman plays it out, and that's the end of the early highlights. Alright, so going into the second half, we have some options on the bench. We want to freshen things up. Reese Wedderburn's been playing really well coming off the bench for us. I don't want to take off Southwell, however, just because obviously magnificent goal scoring form, 14 and 13 appearances. That's something I can't ignore, and I can't really take him off. So what I'm going to do is bring on Wedderburn, play him behind the front 2 strikers, and hopefully Wedderburn can maybe latch onto some through balls. And I'm also going to be off Sakuna, who's had a really poor game thus far. 6.2 rating isn't good enough, so James Fitzgerald will come on in his place. Okie dokie, so it is obviously 2-1 still. Got about 35 minutes to get back in this game. Southwell shoots. Oh, and good save there from Burton. That was a good opportunity there for Dale Southwell. That was the second clear-cut chance of the game, and Southwell should have made it 2-2. But positive sign, we are getting back into things here. So let me see, we got about 25 minutes left to go in the game. Scratch that, 20 minutes now, 15. Things are going really quickly for us right now. Not many opportunities in this game. No, can't bring off Dan Sweeney, even though he's getting pretty tired. So what I'm going to do instead is I am going to take a risk here. I'm going to bring on Jacob Watkins. Hasn't really played that much this season, but he does have the ability to pop up with a goal when we need him the most. So I'm going to bring him on for Southwell. Bit of a risk, but we'll see if that pays off for us. We're going to switch to an overload as well. We're going to try and get back in this game. I got a funny feeling we can snatch a late goal here and make it 2-2. Obviously, this result right now does put us down to 17th in the table, just 3 points clear of North Ferriby being 21st. So 5 minutes left to go in this game. Yet to see a highlight of anything meaningful in the last 20 minutes or so. And it looks like we're about to go run out of time here, despite a valiant effort from the boys to get back into things. But obviously, we didn't have enough firepower. And obviously, losing the game 2-1, even though it was to 2 penalties, is disappointing. We have to try and fix that. Maybe it's something I'm doing, maybe it's a bug in the game, I'm not quite sure, but nevertheless it is a 2-1 defeat, and that result has sent us down now to 17th in the table. I'm not overly disappointed in the display. We really fought hard in the second half to pull back from 2-0, but we just couldn't get the job done. So that'll complete this episode. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, remember to smash that like button and check out some of the more videos I've done. The next episode for this series, I'm going to do thinking about, I'm going to add North Ferriby, because you know what, they're struggling right now too, and this could be a very interesting relegation match off, or face-off I should say. So North Ferriby at home on the December the 16th, 2017 will be the next game. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next part. Goodbye everyone. Goodbye.